So it feels like the people of America have woken up. We are wide awake to the fraud that is being perpetuated on this country inside this building, and we are not going to stand for it. And I don't know about you, but I don't think the United States Senate should vote for a single nominee that's going to participate in this fraud.
Oh my God, I'm sorry to cut this off, but I must point out the obvious. That's Maxine Waters standing next to that man. And she is waving her cane. You see the end of that cane? The damn woman is waving her cane. She should retire. It's embarrassing. And her grandkids need their ass kicked. Whoever her grandchildren are and her children, they need to get their grandmother home. And she need to be chilling. And they need to be bringing her tea and sitting down and letting her talk about the wonderful life that she's lived. And not be out waving a cane at a rally somewhere. And the rally ain't for black people.
When we open up the Senate every single morning, we don't pledge allegiance to the billionaires. We don't pledge allegiance to Elon Musk. We don't pledge allegiance to the creepy 22-year-olds working for Elon Musk.
Nah, we've been pledging allegiance to creepy 88-year-olds who piss on themselves. I'd take a 22-year-old over these old motherfuckers any day. That's the mentality. They got a joke about a 22-year-old anything. Look at our representatives, old and shit. And when he said that, and it's the end of the joke. If you look at Maxine Waters, she over there just busting up. She think that shit is funny. It's embarrassing. But I do think, and there's some other black kids out there. If you look around, those are members of Congress, and they came out to support whatever the hell this man is talking about, because it ain't got nothing to do with black people. Blah, 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 blah. That's what I feel like doing every time I hear that bullshit. We need to be out there speaking for ourselves. And Maxine Waters is a high-ranking member of Congress with her old ass. If she remembers, she need to grab a mic from him and say some black shit and be like, nah, man, we need to get the whatever they shut down, I don't care. Let's replace it with some black shit. They have a building that they're standing in front of that issues American taxpayers' money to foreign aid. And we don't have a building in this country that distributes aid to black people that they enslaved. Let that make sense. Let that shit sizzle on the brain for a minute. It don't make no goddamn sense. And we're going for this shit. And our representatives are going for it. And we need to shut it down.
We pledge allegiance to the United States of America. And so I want to make sure that my mother gets her Social Security check, not because she pledges allegiance to Elon, but because she pledges allegiance to the United States of America. I want to make sure your neighbor gets their tax refund, not because they pledge allegiance to the billionaire class, but because they pledge allegiance to the United States of America.
You know, guys, I just was thinking about some shit. If Elon Musk killed Social Security, killed the checks, fuck it. No more Social Security checks for nobody. You know, like when he get to, because he's on his way. He going through he might not shut it down. He might reform it, or he might shut it down. But this is what I would expect if I see an agency like Social Security touched. Medicare, Medi-Cal, you know, on the federal levels, they start chopping those kind of programs that directly and immediately. Like, do you guys remember when Trump went into one of them fucking offices and did an executive order, and it ended up affecting SNAP and other benefits, in welfare, housing, on the federal grant programs, and he was like, oh shit, did you guys see how quick he walked that back? You see how quick he jumped back on that and was like, oh shit. He shut it down, but he made sure he got them people. He probably went off. Hey, get that shit back to them. You know, he ain't trying to piss off the American people, I don't think. Or he could have shut the whole thing down and shuttered it, and there would have been nothing else to do. But he's smart by shutting down USAID because no one is benefiting immediately and directly from it who would be at the front of the White House being pissed off, except Democrats. Those are our representatives, and they're out there in arms, pissed off, waving canes and shit. So what in USAID benefits black people? Why is Maxine Waters there? That's the kind of shit I can't take. No one's fighting for us, so we got to fight for ourselves. Let Trump be the rallying cry for black people. Since he's over there doing his thing, we need to be over here doing our thing. It ought to be our opportunity to rally and then not have to trust Donald Trump, and we know we shouldn't be trusting the Democrats, but to trust ourselves. Anybody who want to argue with that, I don't know what to tell you. What you gonna do? But it would be a great opportunity to get close to black people and like-minded black people and try to bring it in, folks. Let's bring it in, have some group hugs and shit. Because this ain't going to work for us. Our elected leaders, those black members of the Congressional Congress and Democrats in general, and they're out there pissed off right now because that foreign aid, as Congress people, that's what they've done. Gone abroad it, worked deals, got vacation properties and shit. Who knows what the fuck they done worked out. Because if you can bestow a large amount of money or something beneficial, some type of a resource to a group of people, there's kickbacks. Oh, absolutely. Well, I'd like to know where these people at Congress be vacationing. Do they go to some of these places where we got all this aid going? So, somebody need to shut this shit down or at least investigate it. Let's say that Trump's ass is wrong and he is shutting down some shit that's meaningful and that we should have. Then can it be audited? So the American people can look at it? Shit, Trump might think that shit is justified and we still might think, nah, fuck it, shut that down. That's how I feel about it. It need to be audited, if nothing else. We just open doors and spigots, and now they're wondering if he constitutionally can do this, which doesn't make any sense because it was an executive order that brought this USAID in, and it can be an executive order to take it out. Why should you have to go through the courts for something that didn't have to go through the courts to be enacted? It didn't have to go through Congress to be enacted. It was an executive order by Kennedy. So if that's what we're doing, now we want to run the courts with everything and slow everything down and mess up this opportunity for the country to hopefully progress. Because we know staying where we are is not the answer. Anybody who believes that, this ain't the channel for you, for fucking sure. If you think that where we are is good, no, this is not the chances. It ain't it. This is not the place to be. We got other shit to be doing, and the Democratic Party is pretending that they got this big old vision. And what Trump is doing more than anything is embarrassing every president prior to him by going in there and not acting like he's the part of a long chain of presidents, but that he's an individual president. And he got to get in there and elbow and nuzzle his way up to the front of the room and start signing things and start doing things and start making it crack and pop, make things happen. But when you get presidents in there like Obama, when he had that supermajority and went in, he laser locked focused on that Obamacare and some LGBTQ issues. But those are his priorities. Every president get to do it. But no one has been busier than this president, and no one can deny that. And the Tea Party that rose out of the Obama fiasco. And look at him now, Marco Rubio. These people, a lot of these Tea Partiers who aren't even household names came from that movement. They got pissed off and they got involved in the government, and look where they are now. They running this motherfucker. They made it happen. And I don't think that we're aspiring to run the country or anything as black people, but I do believe that that's just a testament that there is a piece of pie awaiting. We just need to go get it. We got to go get it. We brag and rap about all this other shit we do. We do movies about being as high as presidents of countries and kings of foreign lands. Well, let's make some of that shit a reality, because it can be a reality. And it actually is a reality, but we need to remove the ceiling. We might be soaring, but we could soar more than what we're soaring. They still have a limit on us. And I don't want to be like one of them homing pigeons that got to come land and wait on them to come out and spread the breadcrumbs or their seeds down so you can eat. But fuck all that shit.
And so we have work to do right now. Every single one of us has a responsibility to stand up to this fraud. And it is true, we have to reach out to everyone in this country, conservatives, liberals, Republicans, Democrats, and tell them that we have not months, we have not weeks, but we have days to stop the destruction of our democracy. We have work to do.
Boy, I tell you, if they're really afraid that this man is going to destroy the democracy, then these cries out in the street are justified. But if this is just rhetoric and they're going to get some crazy fanatics, which this country is full of, to start taking shots at our president and his advisors and all that, I would be afraid. But just that kind of talk. The temperature needs to be brought down to a reasonable tone, and facts need to be shown and not a bunch of talk. He need to be up on that mic saying, Trump is talking about shutting down this, and Trump is talking about show specifically what he's going to shut down, so we as American people could be like, okay, because there's not very much stuff abroad that I'm going to pick that we should reenact and reinstate and do again when they ain't gave black people shit. And we had a promise of 40 acres and a mule. They can keep that goddamn mule. I wish it was something that you could eat, but not no mule. But I take the fucking 40 acres, and I think most of us will. But we, at this point, I mean, come on, man. We got to quit fighting for other people. We got to quit fighting for people who we don't even know what their life is like. Unfortunately for them, it could be very bad. It could be very difficult life. But I don't know how to deal with that as a taxpayer in the United States of America. And this has to be the priority. But I do believe we have the type of resources and an excess amount of them. They're just not, being properly appropriated. So shit like this is going to happen. But not at my expense and not at the expense of my people. I feel we deserve, based on what we've been through after slavery, reparations. And when you include slavery, then you start talking into the trillions of dollars. Anybody who want to put a dollar amount or debate with somebody who says, I think you probably owe us about $3 to $5 trillion. And they say, what? They're putting a value on your life still. If somebody doesn't, if their expression on their face doesn't change and they just nod and, they might disagree with reparations or whatever, but no one can put a low number on your ancestors' lives. And if they feel that way, they feel that way. Because I know the number that I've been hearing is way less than 3 trillion, and it shouldn't be. And each day that we are talking about this, it's going on. We're just, the cash register is still ringing because we're still being deprived and underserved and treated bad. And the police brutality alone, just the police brutality alone. What if they didn't do nothing else to black people, just lock them up in prison and kill them, the police? That's enough for some type of reparation. But that's just a small piece of all the other atrocities that we continue to absorb at the hands of America. It ain't right.
And so we will fight with you to make sure that in this country, it is the people that rule. It is the people that rule, not the billionaires. We are taking back this country from Elon Musk. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, my God. He sounds like Trump now, taking back the country. Everybody want to take the country back. Where's it gone? To me, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's the same it's been. It's a weight on our back of our head. And anybody who want to think differently or whatever, you are totally open and entitled. But come on. What kind of sense do it make? The treatment that black people going through in this country, and they up there forming a rally. They didn't have this kind of fight and this kind of stuff going on for the things that were supposed to be for black people. They put us at the front of the DEI. I even seen some of the videos about the USAID, and they're panning over Africa and showing, those pictures of the like the old USAID videos and stuff where the African kids are sitting there eating the mush that they put in the little stone bowls for them to eat, and you're sitting there going, wow, they're doing no different than with them than they do with us. They have a good story to tell. It's a sad one. It's a tearjerker, and all you got to do is get the videos are rolling, and people start feeling that that's what you're really doing with that $40 billion, and it's not. I'd like to know really how much of that $40 billion really does go to feeding African kids, if any of it, but what you're really doing with it, because these people are out in the streets, and they're out there in the streets for something that we don't even know about. Maxine Waters knows. All those politicians know, but we need them to get out in the street for us. We voting for them, or we need to quit voting for them. They don't get out in the street for you. You don't think your life is important enough for them to be out in the street? They're out in the street for somebody else's life, and it is off the shores of the United States. So we got to quit being okay with that shit and let them know that we voting for them and we expect some fucking results. You don't go spend your money at the store and then walk out the door and they be like, hey, sir, you forgot your bag. Oh, nah, I just came to pay for it. I don't want it, though. We want some fucking tangibles. We want some shit that makes sense. And that's being reasonable. I think it sounds reasonable to my ass. Shit, I don't know. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for the support.